This right here is a crashed and fragmented HP ProBook 440G5 laptop, and the owner of this laptop was involved in a motorbike accident while traveling to his workplace. Luckily enough, he managed to survive with minor injuries on himself, but unfortunately the laptop wouldn't survive, as you can see. So he decided to just bring it to the Opolotiversity solutions to see that we help him out, fix it, put it back into life. So ladies and gentlemen, join me as we put this laptop back into life. Let's try connecting the power cord to see how the display is, whether it can display anything or not. So this is my power cord and I'm trying to connect it. Let me insert it in. So try powering on and see how it behaves. Oops, basically it doesn't turn on. So if I press the power button, this is how it's behaving. So meaning the screen is shattered, we can't have much on it. So meaning we have to do a screen replacement, since it can't display anything. It's a broken screen, meaning we have to replace the screen. And if you look at the edges, it's also bent a bit, so meaning we have to replace that as well. So let's see how we can fix this. If you to look at the behind side of the screen, at this angle, it's also broken. All the covers are broken. This is where it affected the screen as well. So let's see how we can restore this laptop back into functionality, me and you, right away. As we've confirmed, the screen is already dead, not functioning. The frame also, this frame also needs some bit of replacement, or rather it needs to be replaced. Also this where the power port is also is shattered. We start off by dismantling, or rather disassembling this laptop to see which parts are to be replaced and which ones are to remain. So let's start right away to dismantle, or rather disassemble, this HP ProBook 440G5 laptop. First things first, we are going to use this Phillips screwdriver as our tool of opening up these screws. So there is one screw here that we need to first unscrew, and here we go. We open up this screw and then remove the cover. After unscrewing, we then open. Gently, you have to open the cover. So this is the cover that we get out. Once you remove this cover, there is then another cover here which covers the hard drive. So let's also try to remove it by unscrewing this one screw here, and once you are done, you gently flip open the cover. You gently flip open the cover. So we then remove, or rather unscrew, this hard drive. And remove that. It has two screws that we remove, and then after removing, once you are done removing, or rather unscrewing, you first lift it up with this handle, then you disconnect the connector. So this is the hard drive, which is the hard disk, HDD, and we've disconnected it as well. so we put it aside. Then further still, we disconnect the RAM chip. It has 2 RAM slots which are here, so let's remove the RAM slots, and still using our minor screwdriver we can then remove them off. This is the first RAM chip, and then we get the second RAM chip. Then once we are done, we then have what we call the wireless card here. There is a wireless card here that you need in case you want to replace. You can always replace, and this is where it is. So I can unscrew that. It has 2 connectors, connector 1 and connector 2, which we need to first disconnect. So this is the wireless card that we have to remove as well. So now we have two screws, this one and this one, which have the keyboard mark here. So we need to first unscrew that also as well. Those ones are the screws that hold the keyboard. So once we are done, we can then open the laptop to the area where we see the keyboard. So we need to get the keyboard off. And we do this by pushing it this side, pushing it this side, pushing it this side, pushing it the front side as we open it. You have to do this gently. So then after that, after opening it up, you flip it this side, so that in order to have the connection point visible. So you connect here. If I may bring it closer, there is a connection point here where you need to unlock the connector and then remove the connector, and that's the keyboard connector opened. So this is our keyboard. We then also put it aside. The keyboard looks pretty okay, which means it wasn't affected much, as you can see. So we can then go to another point. Now inside where the keyboard sits, there are other connectors. For example, we have the keyboard connector here, then we have another connection point. We have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6 or 7 connection points. So we have to first disconnect those connection points. We start off by the first one here, the second one here, the third one here, fourth one, and then the fifth one. Then once we are done, we can also disconnect the fan. Disconnect the fan of the motherboard, which is here. First start by removing the connector. Gently. Gently. So once we are done removing, or rather unconnecting those points, we then get our we start opening up these, removing these screws, inner screws. And in the inner screws we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 screws in here. For these 2.5 by 5 screws, we need to use an Allen key kind of screwdriver like this, not the Phillips type. So we then start unscrewing this. That's number one. We unscrew the second one. We unscrew the third one. We unscrew the fourth one. Cover our laptop and then flip open it to open these other screws. And the outer screws, or the bottom screws, are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They are 7. They are 7 screws that we need to get rid of from the outer side. So we start off by this other one, the first one here. Then the second one. Go to the third one here. Then go to the fourth one this side. You can find it here. Oops. Then get the second one out. So once we are done removing the outer 7 screws, we then get this other screw. There is an inner screw here, which is a 2.5 by 6. We can also unscrew it. So once we are done, we can put that aside. Then here there is another 2x2, M2x2 screw that we need also to remove, which is here. Then once we are done, we confirm that there is no other screw remaining in the frame and the board itself, ensuring that there is no screw remaining. Wondering why this is not coming out. I think it's affected by the frame itself. You can remove it. So once we are done confirming that there is no any other screw left, we can then see how we can flip open the frame itself to see that we can have access to the motherboard. So we can then turn it upside down and see how we can open this part. So having this as our pressure tool, we can then try to see that we open this part. Let's do that right away. You move it around gently as you open those locks. Gently. Ensuring that you use a smaller layered pressure tool. So we open, move it round, ensuring that we open all the angles, removing all the locks, or rather unlocking all the locks. Do that gently. When you reach this part is where didn't disconnect this part, which we have to disconnect right now. So once we are done with that, we can also put it aside. And here we are with our motherboard and the inner interior of the parts. So here we have the internal battery already embedded inside here, and here we have the card reader slot which connects direct to the motherboard, and here we have the connector that connects to the USB port of this side. It's attached with using these connecting cables, and we have the fan as we had already earlier seen. Then we have the CMOS battery, and then the connector that connects to the screen. So we need to start by disconnecting all these ports. So we start off by disconnecting each and every part as from the motherboard. So let's start off by disconnecting the power cord. Then we disconnect the monitor, or rather the screen. Once we are done with that, we then disconnect. This one was already disconnected. Then we disconnect off the USB connector of the motherboard. Once we are done, we can then unscrew. And open the motherboard. So for the motherboard, it has 1, 2, and 2 screws that attach it to the frame. So we first start off by disconnecting this screw, and then the second one is just right here. And once we are done, we can then remove our motherboard. But before we do that, we need also to remove this connector. Let's remove this card connector and this too. Once we are done, we can then disconnect the battery. Can then disconnect the battery. This is the battery. We can put it aside as well. So once we are done, we can then now remove our motherboard. Gently, so that we don't affect any part. We need to confirm that there is no other connector connecting to the motherboard. Okay, so on confirming that there is no other connection part, we can then get off our, we need to first remove the fan as well. Fan has two so once we remove the fan, this is its fan, we can then remove the USB connection port. And remove the USB connection port gently. Then we can remove our motherboard gently. So this is our motherboard, and remember we tested earlier on and it was working well. The reason why we're saying it was working well because we first displayed on the screen, after switching it on, or rather powering it on, meaning that it's still functional, so we don't need to get rid of it. What we are going to get rid of is the screen itself, which is the screen frame, the screen and the entire frame, which is this one, because it's already smashed and fragmented, broken, so we have to get another one. So right now let's dig in and see how we can replace all this frame. So good idea would be we just replace it with another frame, a new frame. But if in case we don't have a new frame, we can always just see how we can secure a new screen, and I'll show you the link below on how to remove the screen. So let's see how we can replace this.
you.